Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. The XRP community has been warning about this literally for years. The first day that we found out the SEC was suing Ripple and as a result attacking all XRP holders, we in the XRP community started saying, and Brad Garlandhouse said it right away too, credit where it's due. We were all saying, this isn't just an attack on Ripple. This is not just an attack on XRP holders. This is an attack on the entire crypto asset class, full stop. And what we've seen unfold in the years since then has provided nothing but vindication for such viewpoints. Unquestionably, that is what happens, and we're seeing more of this today. You may have heard by now, I'm going to get you caught up to speed on the specifics. In case you hadn't heard, though, the headline from Cointelegraph, Uniswap price tanks 10% as team vows to fight SEC threat. And it's actually down worse than that at the time that I'm recording this. No, though, at least at this point, not as bad as what we saw with the drop of XRP. Maybe markets are getting used to this type of BS. Maybe. I'll just tell you this here. It's very clear to me that executives at Uniswap understand at this point in time, and I wish that they hadn't been silent back then, but it's very clear that they understand the degree to which Ripple has paved the way forward for everybody else that is going to have to fight against the SEC. In fact, Uniswap's chief legal officer, as the news broke, put out a full thread and mentioned Ripple in it. And I'm going to show you exactly what he had to say about it. But this is insanity. It must stop. The good news is SEC is on the wrong side of history, but as satisfying as the vindication is for all of us in the XRP community, because we were right, we obviously were right, what I feel more strongly than that is just disgust for what this government agency has been doing, because I hold a lot of different cryptocurrencies, and all of this is harming my opportunity for life-changing wealth. All of this is. I don't want other coins attacked. None of them. The SEC is acting far outside the scope of what they're, of how they're allowed to regulate per Congress. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Remember this fun headline, folks? There are many like it all over the world. This one's from December 23rd of 2020 from CNBC. Cryptocurrency XRP plunges 25% after SEC files lawsuit against Ripple. This harmed all of us, and a lot of people are too busy mocking us to recognize the very real threat to those people who are mocking us. Here you can see Uniswap, at the time I'm recording this, down over the last 24 hours, down right at 16% now. So not as bad as what we saw with XRP. Now, XRP obviously ended up tanking way more than 25% because at the time, and I'm pulling from memory here so you guys can get the specifics. If you want to fact check me, that's fine. But my recollection is XRP was like 56 or 57 cents when the news broke. Got down to as low as maybe, depending on what exchange you're looking at, 16 or 17 cents. So easily a good 2/3 of the entire market cap, the entire value of XRP in terms of price, just wiped off the face of the earth. To the tune of... I keep seeing it might have been $15 billion. I'd have to look it up. It doesn't matter. The point is, it was a ton. Lots of real harm here. So why isn't this as bad for Uniswap? Well, a couple of things here. There was a Wells... I'll get to the specifics in terms of what was actually filed or what the assertions are. But it was a Wells notice, so that could be a factor. A Wells notice just means that there's an intent from the SEC to file the lawsuit. But let's be real. If they file a Wells notice, it's going to happen. There's going to be a lawsuit. It's just the case that the 5 commissioners must vote on that, but look at who the commissioners are. Yeah, it's going to be easily another 3-5 vote. That would be my guess in favor of bringing this lawsuit against Uniswap. But you could say, since it technically hasn't happened, maybe that's a factor. You know what I think a major factor is, though? Is that because of the bold fight that Ripple put up along with the entire XRP community, I think that's instilled a lot of confidence that since the SEC lost on the point that actually mattered, XRP is not a security, I think that's instilled confidence here. So maybe people are a bit less scared than if that hadn't happened. So yeah, we were basically first out the gate. I mean, the first major In terms of like a large cap coin getting tagged. Yeah, that was it. That was the first real battle. We're already through on the other side, better for it going into the bull run, so that part's fantastic. But Uniswap's going to have a multi-year battle here, in all probability. That's what's going to happen. But I think that speculators are a lot more confident now than they would have been a few years ago. Like, say Uniswap were attacked first. Well, I'm sure it would have tanked in price way more than this. So there are a couple things there. Here's a post from my fellow XRP YouTuber, The Bearable Bull. The XRP Army warned the rest of crypto this was coming. Instead, they cheered as Ripple got sued. I remember when attorney Jeremy Hogan said, "You'll be glad that XRP went through this first." XRP is now free as every other crypto is in the line of fire of the SEC. Suffer like we did? With a little shrug emoji. The punishment is the time wasted. Yep. And not that I want others to suffer, and I don't think that the Bearable Bull actually wants anybody else to suffer too, but his point's certainly not lost on me or any of you listening, I'm sure. Because look, we all hold a bunch of different cryptocurrencies. I don't think any of us are actually like an XRP maximalist, right? They're Bitcoin maximalists. I think I've seen like one XRP maximalist ever where it's just, no, it's XRP or bust. Man. It's bad to be a maximalist of any coin, though. And so, no, we don't want the holders of other coins to suffer. We don't want other projects to be attacked. But it is the case, and we were warning. And the thing is, if others had acted, who knows if there wasn't so much tribalism, to what degree things would have been different now. Obviously, Ripple still would have come out better for this. XRP would still not be a security because we're on the right side of history there. But what else could we have gotten going if we had a more tremendous push as an entire crypto community rather than just the XRP community? What if there were less tribalism? Well, I'll tell you this, given that the SEC gets its power from Congress, there could have been stronger pushes over the last few years pushing back against them, changing things, could have potentially set things in motion. Who knows? If we were united to that degree, because there are all sorts of people in the world of crypto, and there have been for a long time, that are very rich, very powerful, very well connected, and they were sidelined, not commenting, or at least not commenting favorably about anything having to do with XRP and the Ripple lawsuit. But they could have been. How different would things look today? Well, we'll never know. It would have been better than this, though. And so then you see, here's a post from Altcoin Daily, 1.5 million followers on X, one of the largest crypto YouTube channels in existence. I checked it before recording, 1.45 million subscribers. And here's part of what they wrote. The SEC just declared war on crypto. Uniswap is the largest decentralized exchange in existence, has over $2 trillion in total volume since its launch in 2018. My friends, this is the type of bias that is gross. So this was the day they declared war now. Are you serious? Do you know what happened in the SEC v Ripple case? Are you typing this with a straight face? Are you kidding? And they know that. It's just the case. This particular account here at Altcoin Daily, they for years they've been ripping on XRP. So they're just pretending like all of history didn't even happen to their over 1 million followers and subscribers. That's kind of gross. Here's another post from them. First, they came for Binance to protect us. Next, they came for Coinbase to protect us. Now they come for Uniswap to protect us. When they missed, FTX, Celsius, and 3 Arrows Capital completely. Facepalm emoji. That's not quite right. And the Bearable Bull fixed it. He reposted that and said, first they came for Ripple. Fixed it for you. Yes, spot on. I was thinking the same thing when I saw that post. Thank you, Bearable Bull, for taking care of that. My God, this is why we can't have nice things, folks. And then there's this from attorney Bill Morgan. He said, XRP was 8 years old when the SEC sued Ripple. That is the way. Wait until they are successful and then sue them for billions. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. They wait until there's money to be had so that if they can trick a judge into ruling an incorrect way, they get the cash prize. That's pretty much it. It's disgusting and immoral, but it's what they're doing. Here's a post from Marvin Amori. Marvin is the chief legal officer over at Uniswap. And I'm not going to read the whole thread just for the sake of time here, but I want to read the top part because he does talk about what happened in Ripple. He wrote, today's Wells notice against Uniswap is disappointing, but is not unexpected from this SEC. It's another abuse of power, unsurprising from an SEC that, last month, a federal judge ruled committed a gross abuse of power by lying in court about a crypto project. In Ripple, a judge ruled didn't act out of a faithful allegiance to the law. And folks, that's my favorite line. That's my favorite bitch smack against the SEC in that entire case. That was just fantastic. I'll never forget it. I need to have that printed up, that page from the actual legal document that the judge presented, and I need to print that and frame that, and then just highlight the relevant portion of it and just slap that on my wall. I can just read it every single day. It's that good. It's fantastic, and it's just that doesn't normally happen. It shows you the degree to which the SEC is completely off the rails here. Anyway, Marvin continues. In Grayscale, 3 judges ruled broke the law in denying a Bitcoin ETF, having no reasonable and coherent explanation, which is another quote there. In our case with Uniswap, the SEC's arguments are particularly weak. The SEC has authority only over securities, not any asset represented by a particular file format or technical standard. Most tokens are clearly not securities, e.g. Bitcoin, ETH, stablecoins, meme coins, nor generally are secondary market transactions, per the Ripple opinion. And so here we go, our community paving the way. I don't know if this guy spoke out about the SEC v. Ripple case. Maybe he did, and I just didn't see it, but I don't remember seeing anything from Uniswap. Was there a Uniswap amicus brief? Did that exist? I don't recall that. I don't recall seeing that. Now, that being said, I do still think that we all should come together. I mean, it's fine. Have a little see I told you so, because we were right. But we do still need to come together as a crypto community and push back against all this. Here's a post, and I'll just read the top part just for the sake of time here. This comes from Hayden. He is the inventor of Uniswap. And he wrote the following. Today, Uniswap Labs received a Wells notice from the SEC. I'm not surprised, just annoyed, disappointed, and ready to fight. I am confident that the products we offer are legal and that our work is on the right side of history. But it's been clear for a while that rather than working to create clear, informed rules, the SEC has decided to focus on attacking longtime good actors like Uniswap and Coinbase, all while letting bad actors like FTX slip by. Okay, where was this crap 3 years ago? I mean, of course he's right. Of course he's right. We've been screaming this literally for years. So let's go through some of the specifics from the Cointelegraph article here. Uniswap, the token for the decentralized exchange of the same name, sunk to a 6-week low after Uniswap said it received a proposed lawsuit notice from United States regulators, which it is ready to fight. Uni, which is the ticker symbol, dropped 10% from $11.21 to $10 in the hour after Uniswap said it received a Wells notice from the Securities and Exchange Commission, a notification that the regulator is planning enforcement action. Uni is currently trading at $9.66, its lowest point since late February, according to Cointelegraph Markets Pro. I'm not surprised, just annoyed, disappointed, and ready to fight, the New York-based Uniswap Labs founder Hayden Adams wrote in an April 10th X post. This fight will take years and may go all the way to the Supreme Court. Folks, that's right, and we're going into a bull market. Sucks. It sucks. But we, at least, are on the other side of that going into a bull market. So as awful as it was for us last time around, oh, praise the Jesus, we are clear right now. We are in the clear. I feel great about that. I don't like seeing them get attacked, but I feel good about that at least. We are through this damn thing. That is real. This is real life. XRP declared not a security last summer. Ain't gonna change. Anyway, piece continues. Uniswap didn't share the exact contents of the Wells notice, but in a blog post regarding the notice claimed Uni wasn't a security and it doesn't meet the U.S. legal definitions of securities exchange or broker. An SEC spokesperson told Cointelegraph it doesn't comment on the existence or non-existence of a possible investigation. Consensus Senior Counsel and Regulatory Matters Director Bill Hughes wrote on X, clarifying that SEC staff have to first get the lawsuit approved by the agency's 5 commissioners, inclusive of Chair Gary Gensler. We all know that the chair wants to sue them, and 2 commissioners are not going to disagree, and 2 will disagree, Hughes wrote. So a suit is a foregone conclusion, but there isn't a suit yet. he urged those freaked out to take a breath and calm down, as it was extremely doubtful the SEC would target uni holders or protocol users. Former SEC Internet Enforcement Chief John Reed Stark wrote on X, a Wells notice gives the recipient an opportunity to argue why the commissioners should decline a recommended lawsuit. Yeah, and by the way, how much do you want to bet that they're going to trot out the embodiment theory? How much you want to bet they're going to do that again as they did in the SEC v. Ripple case? XRP, no, we're not saying XRP is a security. It just embodies all of the things that would make it a security, which is the same thing as saying we, the SEC, believe that XRP, or pick your coin, is a security. How much you want to bet they're going to bring that argument back out? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised in the least if they do that. Well, because they haven't dropped that in other cases. They're still arguing that in other cases now. And it's just funny, they argued that in the SEC v. Ripple case. Then at the end, after they lost, they're like, oh, no, it's just computer code, of course. We're not going to appeal that portion of what Judge Torres said. No, we're not going to appeal that. It's just computer code with no inherent value. Remember that? What a bunch of asshat bricks, man. Peace continues. He said the notice to Uniswap was not surprising and is always amazed when Wells notice recipients fight back by throwing stones at the SEC with obnoxious/insulting PR campaigns like the one Uniswap seems to have begun. Any SEC lawyer will agree that responding to a Wells by berating the SEC, calling them names, etc., is a weak, risky, and losing strategy. I disagree with that. Now, of course, John Reed Stark. I'm very familiar with this guy. I'm not convinced that he believes a lot of the stuff that he says. Maybe he does, but it's kind of hard to believe because it's so extreme. He's very anti-crypto. He has a strong bias against it, and he worked at the SEC, so he's a big old ex-SEC guy, and he's wrong here. The SEC's name is mud. Judges throughout the country are aware of this. They understand that all of their peers, there are other judges out there, have been just berating them in multiple cases. It's not like this is some sort of one-off instance. They're aware of this. You think that this is going to hurt their case? No. In fact, the opposite. It's a rallying cry for all of us to get together and then help to push people in Congress to actually make some damn changes. Now, right away. And it's not like the Uniswap folks, it's not like they're being tacky about this. They're just sharing their perspective and being public about it. I read you portions of what, it's not like I'm hiding some, toddler-like comments. That's not what they're doing. They're being professionals. I get to be a little bit more flamboyant about it because I run a YouTube channel and I like to make fun of those asshat pricks because they're disgusting. But that's not how Uniswap is behaving. No, they're being just the professionals that you would expect them to be in terms of what they're communicating here. So, this isn't going to go well for the SEC. They're on the wrong side of history very clearly. This is outside the purview of the SEC. Ain't going to go so hot. So we'll keep tracking this. But again, a little bit, I told you so to the people years ago who thought that it really was going to begin and end with Ripple. No. That was never the case. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.